Hare Krishna, good morning. Thank you for joining our morning japa session. Again, that is every day, every morning, 5:30 to 7 a.m. So if you want to finish your rounds together with the devotees, you can log in and log out anytime. And welcome sa ating Braj Bhakti Academy, the Monk in the Middle podcast. We are studying here every day then, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And yeah, this is our 70th episode. Good morning, hello. And welcome sa ating mga Zoomers and also sa mga nanonood sa atin sa Facebook Live. Hare Krishna. You know the drill, everyone. Before we enter in the realm sa study natin sa yoga philosophy, Srimad Bhagavatam, we should be in the proper mood, in the mood of request, and in the mood of humility. So join me as we recite the invocation mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, good morning, my dear Prabhus. Radhanath Prabhu and Navadip Chandra Prabhu. And yeah, bilis ng araw. Kakasama ulit
Good
tayo.
morning. Yeah.
And yes, we discussed ang ating chapter 12 na galing sa Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, entitled Creation, chapter 12, Birth of Emperor Praksit. And today is the last session natin for this book. I mean, this part. No, if you have this small version ng Srimad Bhagavatam. We're going sa third book na kagad, no? Galing lang. Huwag kayong mag-alala, may 44. So, may 42 pa ng libro. Okay, Rajnath Prabhu, I believe we could continue from that.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Good morning, everybody. Nice to be with you again in the study, in this Sangha of studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Very wonderful. So yes, continuation of this chapter 12 entitled The Birth of Emperor Parikshit. So, dinidescribe pa rin dito yung mga, alam mo yun, yung mga wonderful qualities ng magiging Maharaj Parikshit. Tapos yung mga sages or yung mga tinatawag nila mga astrologers, nagbibigay sila ng mga mga hint giving si Maharaj Parikshit. So, malalaman natin sa verses na to yung mga babasahin natin. So, continue pa rin na nagsasalita dito sila Suta Goswami. Tinidescribe niya sa mga sages ng Naimisharanya forest kasi sila yung nagtatanong. So, dinidescribe ni Suta Goswami. So, siya pa rin yung nagsasalita dito. Text number 26. This child will be the father of kings who will be like sages. For world peace and for sake of religion, he will be the chastiser of the upstarts and the quarrelsome. So sa purport ni Srila Prabhupada, dinidescribe niya yung ano yung gaano ka-importante yung role ng mga wise man sa society. Of course, no, by the by the word itself, wise man. From there, ano siya makakakuha kasi sa kanila ng mga wise words, mga wise decisions. Kasi without wise words, without wise decision coming from this wise man, sabi nga parang yung society will be compared just like headless chicken, parang gano'n. Diba yung headless chicken? Parang nakakatuwang graphic no? Visual no? Yung yung manok yung tatakbo-takbo lang kung saan sa ano lang ulo ko. So uumpog siya kahit saan. Parang gano'n. So kino-compare na without head, without this very much essential part ng society, the wise men, meaning yung mga brahmanas, yung mga learned priests, mga ganun, mga educators. Pag walang mga ganun, yung society raw will be just like that. Hindi alam minsan direction and will be just running all over. Walang direction yung society. So sinasabi na itong Maharaj Parikshit, this Parikshit will be surrounded by this wise men, as he is also a wise man. Kasi napaka-importante na yung leader nga naman ng society daw. Dapat he himself will be wise. Kasi kung hindi daw siya yung sinasabi niya sila Prabhupada sa purport, kung yung leader ng society is not the wisest person, paano niya ma-recognize kung ano yung mga kailangang gawin? Paano siya makakapagbigay ng directives, ng mga wise directives kung hindi niya alam or kung hindi mismo siya ay wise person, parang ganun. Diba natural lang naman naisipin yun. Kaya in short, welcome to Kali Yuga Parang itong verse na to, ito yun welcome to Kali Yuga. Dinidescribe ko sa rito yung parang opposite ng you can say how the society is run nowadays. Practically, we are run by demoniac and foolish persons. So talagang kabaliktaran. Kaya kita natin yung result, di ba? There's so much anxiety sa mga tao. So much fear sa mga tao. And as described by Srila Prabhupada, ito yung agenda nila. Actually, yung agenda nila is sinasabi sa Kali Yuga. Itong mga tawag dito, unqualified leaders. Actually, yung agenda nila para mawala yung religiosity ng mga tao. And paano nawawala yung religiosity ng mga tao? Basically, yung sinasabi na symptoms ng Kali Yuga is yung very rampant na yung tinatawag na yung distribution ng yung parang yung business nila is nagre-revolve sa wine, women, gambling, and slaughterhouse. Parang gano'n. Ito hindi describe siya papad na symptoms ng Kali Yuga. Pero sa atin hindi na symptoms yung nakikita natin. Malala na May sakit na talaga Kasi over na yung mga dinidescribe. May mga nakikita natin ngayon sa dinidescribe dito. So yung mga tinatawag ni Prabhupada na mga upstarts and uprooters of Kali, ayun, ito yung sinusuportahan nilang mga activities. Parang any activity na revolving around these four. Sabi, parang nag-uusap nga kami may kausap ako nakaraan, hindi ko lang matandaan ko sino, pero parang sa business, parang gano'n. Kung gusto mo mag-business and gusto mo lumago yung business mo, kailangan umikot sa apat yan Yung apat na kabaliktaran ng four regulative principles. Gusto mo mag-business, dapat doon ka. Nagre-revolve ka sa meat eating, gambling, intoxication, tsaka illicit sex. Makikita mo naman it's very true. Wala na tayong kailangan i-explain pa doon kasi kitang-kita na natin sa society natin ngayon. Kung sino yung may hawak ng mga drugs, kung sino yung may hawak ng mga casinos, sino yung may hawak ng mga hotels, or sino yung may hawak ng mga ganong klaseng businesses, slaughterhouses, sila yung mayayaman. Kasi yung Kali Yuga talagang surging Yan talaga yung dyan pupunta yung mga tao naturally. So pag meron ka may business ka ng isa o apat na yun, sigurado hindi ka mawawala ng business. You will never be out of business. Lalaki ka lang ng lalaki. Parang gano'n. So ito yung unfortunate situation ng Kali Yuga compared to sa sinasabi na naging qualities or mga naging rulings ng mga previous saintly kings, because they are themselves are wise, and even they are surrounded by great sages or wise men as their parang mga council, parang gano'n. So napaka-importante, pinapakita dito yung structure kung paano mag-run ng perfect society, kasi dinidescribe sa ruling ni Maharaj Pariksit, talagang lahat ng tao well taken care of, walang problema, walang anxiety. Yun yung main point ni Srila Prabhupada dito eh. Kasi yung result ng bad governance is actually anxiety or fear sa mga tao. Fear, hindi lang fear na may makakain ba tayo sa sa ating hapagkainan, o may trabaho ba tayo, o meron ba tayo, protektado ba tayo sa mga pwedeng umatake sa atin, gumawa ng masama sa atin. Diba, napaka-rampant ngayon yung anti-Asian hate and even the racism with yung mga Black Lives Matter na yan, di ba? All Lives Matter na yan. Very rampant eh. So even yung sinasabi nilang sa greatest country in the world, so-called greatest country in the world, they are full of this anxiety and depression and fear. Sila mismo, nasa loob na sila ng bansa nila. Natakot pa sila. Even citizen sila ng bansa na yun, di ba? Parang nasaan yung governance? Parang ganun. So ito yung mga tinatawag na sinasabing ill effects ng bad governance is the anxiety ng mga tao, yung fearlessness ng mga tao is very, very much there. Talagang hindi nawawala. Andun siya palagi. Pero sa rulings nila Maharaj Pariksit, one ng mga great kings, saintly kings, walang mga ganun. If anything na may symptoms na, yung kwento nga is madi-describe din in the future. Yung kwento nga na may mabalitaan lang sila na may parang somebody na may ginagawa. Mismong yung king, mismong si Maharaj Pariksit, siya yung pupunta para i-destroy yung mga upstarts na yun, yung mga nagsisimula ng gulo na yun. Diba yun yung story nga nung Kali, doon simula yun, si Kali, story ng Kali na yun. Pero anyway, i-reserve natin yan in detail sa mga next stories. Basically sa text na to, dinidescribe lang yung Srila Prabhupada yung symptoms ng Kali Yuga, which is, yun nga, hindi na symptoms ngayon. Very much kita naman natin. We are experiencing it. Our only hope is that by the association of saintly devotees, we will be relieved from this fear, from this anxiety. So text number 27. After hearing about his death, which will be caused by the bite of a snake bird sent by a son of a Brahmana, he will get himself freed from all material attachment and surrender unto the personality of Godhead, taking shelter of him. So dinidescribe naman dito yung magiging yung parang fast forward sa story, paano natin narinig yung Srimad Bhagavatam from the converse Maharaj Pariksit and Shukadev Goswami. So may story na ganun na curse siya ng isang anak ng Brahmana because of some sort of parang feeling ng anak ng Brahmana is na disrespect yung father niya. And yun din yung isa sa start ng downfall ng mga Brahmanas, yung giving curses ng mga ganun. Mapag-uusapan din natin yan in the future. In detail yung story na yun kung paano na-curse si Maharaj Pariksit. So basically, ang dinidescribe dito ng Srila Prabhupada, how the devotee acts in such you can say unfortunate situation, na parang very difficult situation. And in this regard ngayon, yung curse, kasi dinidescribe, he is a saintly person, he is always protected by the Lord. He could have counteracted the curse, sabi. Effectively can counteract the curse. Pero he did not do that. Si Maharaj Pariksit, hindi niya daw ginawa yun. And since dinidescribe na this is the devotee, this is the pure devotee of the Lord. Despite of the atrocities, despite of very grave and very unfortunate situation, he comes out victorious and gracefully accepts the situation, and parang instead na manlumo, instead na ma-anxiety, who he turns to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He turns to the devotees. And yun nga, yung example na binigay dito, how after hearing his death, he approached Shukadev Goswami. So doon na nagsimula yung conversation nila kasi nag-inquire siya. Madaling salita, ginamit niya yung time na yon and tinake advantage niya yung opportunity na yon. Hindi na siya nanlaban. Hindi na siya nag-waste ng time para manlaban pa, interact in person and everything. So they describe it in wonderful um, activity ng isang and how a devotee deals with such things, unfortunate situation, that he turns to Krishna. He turns to yung ginawa niya 7 days. Walang kain, walang tulog, walang inom, gano'n. Dire-diretsong katayon. Sabi nga tayo, may tigit-isang oras lang tayo, hindi pa tayo attentive. Tapos, sasawa pa tayo. Once a week lang, or twice a week lang. Pero yun, straight. Wonderful na ano ng devotee. Describe ni Srila Prabhupada. He made the best use of a bad bargain. Diba? Kasi yung curse. Curse eh. Diba? Unfortunate situation. How come na ano ka head ka ng state, no? And magaling ka naman talaga. Somehow, konting pagkakamali lang. Na-curse ka kaagad. So parang ano eh. Unfortunate talaga. Unfortunate. Pero yun nga, he made use of this bad bargain, this curse. He used that as his advantage. And I think yun yung dapat natin palaging matutunan sa buhay natin, di ba? How we can turn around yung mga bad situations into our advantage, into our parang opportunity na ma-better yung sarili natin, ma-better yung sitwasyon, hindi yung parang lagi tayo mag-aano pa tayo, magbe-blaming pa tayo, pointing pa tayo ng fingers, or you will always feel the victim ka, masyado kang pa-victim effect palagi. Di ba we understand karma and everything? How can we really tawag dito, come up or peaceful lang tayo, hindi tayo basta-basta nagre-react. On the other hand, perspective, and from that we can make good decisions. We can situally better, not for just yourself, but for everybody involved. So napaka-importante yung ano yan, lesson sa atin. Something na dapat lagi nating matutunan. May art yan, may art. But for sure, by practicing of devotional service, by association with saintly people, great persons, great saintly persons, we can get some inspiration from them, and by that association we can imbibe these qualities of being peaceful and equipoised. So yun yung parang pinaka-pinupunto ng text number 27. Text number 28. After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Yahweh, who will be a great philosopher? He will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. So yun nga, yung sinasabi natin na yung nangyari na kinurse siya, so tinake advantage niya, and then he conversed, he asked the real questions in life. How can a person, how one who is a dying person should live his life, parang ganun. Ano dapat gawin ng tao na malapit na mamatay, parang ganun. So because of that conversation, of course, meron tayong Srimad-Bhagavatam. And very important activity palagi yung we are hankering, we're searching for spiritual knowledge, kasi this material life hindi siya pwedeng ma-counteract ng something material din eh. Diba? Para may dinidescribe kanina rin na hindi pwedeng yung fire, hindi mo siya pwedeng ma-counteract ng fuel eh. Parang gano'n. Diba, nasa material world tayo, we are unfortunately we are in this situation where this material energy is really driving us place na dapat hindi tayo nandoon, or dapat because of our desires. Lalo tayong tinatawag nga na parang lalo tayong nababound dito sa material existence. So sinasabi, our only relief is when we take into devotional service and the spiritual life starts. So only spiritual things can alleviate this burning uh, life from material existence. So let us all take into this spiritual journey, and by devotional service, for sure, we will be saved from this unfortunate and burning hot situation ng material existence. So yun. Tas yun dinescribe si Vyasadeva, anak ni Vyasadeva na si Shukadeva Goswami. So sila yung nagharap doon. Text number 29. Ay hindi, may sinabi pa, ito, may importante pala rito sa last paragraph na sinabi ni Srila Prabhupada sa purport ng text number 28. So we should be aware daw, sabi kasi there's some sort of imitation nitong mga professional reciters ng mga Bhagavatam na yes, parang very articulate and very flowery, and the presentation is really nice and everything, but they're doing that for just for their own self tawag dyan, parang pang sarili nilang kapakanan. Actually merong ulterior motive, para ganun, may other business thing. So mag ano raw tayo doon, mag-ingat daw tayo sa mga ganong klaseng pakikinig, or ma-involve tayo sa mga ganong klaseng professional reciters ng Bhagavatam, because it is not in a pure parang state. It's only a show, parang ganun. But there is foolish audience, sabi sila pa. There are foolish audience na nakikinig sa mga ganun. Pero if one is fortunate enough, then he by arrangement of the Lord, he will be hearing from bona fide speakers of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So ayun lang, parang pinapa-aware lang tayo na may mga professional men na doing this. Pero ang purpose nila is dito. Sabi nga, caricature lang daw 'yon, caricature, parang katatawanan lang. And dapat daw hindi tayo ma-mislead sa mga ganung performances. Because ultimately it's out of greed, or out of wanting to fulfill their personal desires. That's why ginagawa nila yun. Maybe mapa-money or mapa-fame or fame or adoration or distinction, parang ganun. Not really to introduce or glorify the Lord, parang ganun. So that mag-ingat daw tayo sa mga ganung reciters ng Bhagavad. So I believe last verse for me, text number 29. Thus, those who were expert in astrological knowledge and in performance of the birth ceremony instructed King Yudhishthir about the future history of his child. Then, being sumptuously remunerated, they all returned to their respective homes. So matindi, no? So yung describe dito na very important sa society noon, how the society is maintaining its purity and effectiveness. Kasi yung mga kings, they are maintaining this kind of mga great villagers, mga great priests, and because of that, if they are well maintained, then this Vedic knowledge will be available for free for everybody, parang ganon. Because the brahmanas and these astrologers are well maintained, they can practically just do their job. Wala silang kailangang problemahin, just share this knowledge to others, parang ganon. And that is the beauty of having a saintly king, because he knows what to do with the people. He knows how to take care of them. That's why the Vedic society runs smoothly, parang ganun. And dinidescribe lang dito yung paano sila binabayaran. Paano sila tawag dito. Hindi na talaga binabayaran. Mas magandang word din. Nagre-reciprocate yung king. In a way na ang mga binibigay is sufficient gold, land, villages. Yun lang naman yung mga binibigay nila. It's not a big deal. Grains and other valuable necessaries of life, which also include cows. Ang tindi, no? So, meron lang din tayong glimpse ng gaano talaga kayaman ng ang dynasty ng mga saintly kings noon, and how much they are really indebted to these brahmanas, to these people in sa society nila, sa yung mga under sa kanila, na they are well maintained, and that is sana all. Sa society natin mapapasana all lang tayo. But we can see how the Kali Yuga is really advancing, and how it is really the opposite of what they're having before. Parang ganun. Sorry, Krishna. Thank you. Nabudip, is it Nabudip Chandra Prabhu you? Next or Radha Chandra Prabhu? Yeah. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Napakaganda nun. Napakaganda ng mga example na yun. And yeah, sabi nga ni Riza, ganda nung despite of the atrocities of the society in the world, the devotee turns to Krishna and he will be victorious. Yeah, kasi walang makakatakas sa Kali Yuga. Di ba? Unless you'll go back home back to Godhead. Or yung karma natin will have to take birth in other places. Pagbalik natin sa Earth, Satya Yuga na. Pero yeah, it is, kumbaga, hindi mapipigilan yung Kali Yuga. That's the nature of this material world. Ang ganda nun kasi yung mga brahmanas pa lang, sabi ni Radhanath Prabhu, parang alam na nila because of astrology and their vision, alam na nila kung paano yung death by snake bird. So yeah, I don't know. Sabi ni Prabhupada may snake bird pa rin daw ngayon, di ba? Anyway, text number 30. So his son would become famous in the world as Pariksit, examiner, because he would come to examine all human beings in his search after the personality whom he saw before his death. Thus, he would come to constantly contemplate him. So if natandaan ninyo, si Pariksit Maharaj was being targeted by the Brahmastra ni Ashvatam, the nuclear weapon, the mantra that is being whispered dun sa arrow, pero yung effect niya, mas malakas pa nga sa mga nuclear weapon, yung mga modern nuclear weapons ngayon. Ang name niya is Pariksit because siya yung examiner. Kasi nakita niya si Krishna in the womb. Ang problema, hindi na niya makita ngayon. So he's looking for that personality everywhere, sa lahat ng human beings. Hinahanap nga niya yun. And what happened was, of course, parang ano yan eh, sinasabi ni Navadip Chandra, ito yung free taste natin. In our practice ng ating Krishna consciousness, yung umpisa, sobrang kakaiba. Lagi mong matatanong sa mga devotees yan. How did they start yung Krishna consciousness? First time they met devotees, or first time pumunta sa temple, prasadam. Lahat yun memorable. Diba? Lahat yun, grabe. Kumbaga si Krishna, ang sarap. Binigyan ka ng feeling, ng experience na grabe mag-chat, ang sarap, diba? Such a relief. Diba? Iba umiiyak pa. Tapos after some time, medyo magilelo na yung free taste na yun. Ngayon, hanap-hanapin mo na. And these personalities, just like Maharaj Pariksit, andun si Dhruva Maharaj, diba, nakita rin niya si Krishna, tapos hanap-hanapin niya. Si Kardama Muni, anak nga niya si Kapila, pero ganoon din after nung niya mag-retire, ayun din yung meditation niya. Because ayun yung goal natin actually, not just to see Krishna, not just to be in the beginning stage lang, pero yung longing na greatest teachings ni Krishna is to have the relationship to Him in that longing state of mind and state of feeling. We're longing for Krishna. Actually, hindi lahat tayo ganun kaswerte to be in the situation na ililigtas tayo ni Krishna sa buong natin. Probably we are saved by Krishna one way or the other. Pero hindi natin natatandaan. Ako hindi ko natatandaan na niligtas ako ni Krishna sa Brahmastra ng bata ako. Ewan ko kay Namadip Chandra, kay Radhanath. Baka meron sila. Pero that's the case. Most of us, if not all. Pero, ito yung role actually ng mga parents. To have exposure ng Krishna consciousness habang bata pa lang. It's a grabing investment. Parang katulad kay Pariksit Maharaj. He was exposed to Krishna even in the womb. Diba? Natandaan pa nga niya yung nangyari. And that is the role of parents or guardians, kundi man parents. Ibigay yung facility na yon sa mga bata to be exposed. And gano'n siya ka-special kasi si Srila Prabhupada was even giving the example ng buhay niya. Sabi ni Prabhupada, my father was a pure devotee of the Lord. Yung mga 4 or 5 years old si Srila Prabhupada, binigyan siya ng Radha Krishna. It's not like, parang ano siya, parang deities din siya, pero meron din siyang toy na cart for Ratha Yatra. So he was doing this, imitating yung near temple sa kanila, main temple, neighboring temple sa kanila, Radha Govinda. So yung mga activities, ginagaya niya. You could see yung mga bata na devotees sa atin. They will send pictures, yung mga, they will imitate yung mga monks, yung mga pamangkin nila, saka anak nila. They'll have sika, they'll chant, di ba? It's cute. Pero kaya tuwan-tuwa yung devotees kasi it's a great investment parang si Pariksit Maharaj. They're being exposed early on their childhood. Kasi nai-impress yan sa heart eh. And true enough, hindi lahat magtutuloy-tuloy. Siyempre, they will be busy. Just like Sir Prabhupada, naging busy siya with school. Sabi niya, di ba? Out of practice nga daw in his term. In his humble term. Pero yung na-meet niya yung guru niya, na-awaken lalo lahat. Same. You will hear a lot of stories yung mga bata na exposed sa Gurukul, sa temple. And there will come a time na magigising uli yun. And just like from childhood nila, they will start kung saan sila huminto. Same thing. May time na para makakalimutan nila yung mga practices, yung mga pangalan, terminologies. Once magising sa ulit, dire-diretso na. And that is the role, again, ng parents or guardians or those who are surrounding yung mga kids. Sabi nga, it takes a community to raise a child. To give that facility na they will be exposed in temple, in the chanting, in the deity worship, in the books, in the philosophy, in the association. We have to facilitate. That is hindi lang parents nga, kahit naman yung mga brahmacharis, yung mga elders. We have to facilitate it to them. And that's the greatest gift. Kasi in the future life sila yun. Imagine mo yung mga nag-facilitate kay Srila Prabhupada, di ba? In the future, makikita na Srila Prabhupada change the world. Or yung mga, well, makikita natin yung mga devotees even in our generation. Ganun din. Diba? Like, I've heard din yung one interview from Namaras Prabhu na podcast. Yeah, half Filipino devotee na he was gone for some time because of a lot of things. A lot of things happened. Then he came back. Then yeah, he was doing a lot of kirtans, touching hearts of different people. So may ganun siya, kumbaga, mabilis siya magising. And sabi nga dito ni Sir Prabhupada, that impression of godly relation must be impregnated from the beginning of childhood. Otherwise, one may miss the opportunity of human form of life, which is very valuable, although it is temporary like others. Kasi pag bata, the naivety of the child, mas Krishna conscious sila eh. Very natural, di ba? Makakita ng mga videos ng mga bata. Ayaw na kumain ng meat kasi mga friends nila yung mga, yung mga pets nila, ganito. So, mas clear actually yung consciousness nila. Hindi pa sila bombarded ng society, ng mga advertisement, ng mga sinasabi ng tao sa paligid. So, that Krishna consciousness is very easy. It is easy for us to explain God to them. Pero pag yung ibang tao mas matanda na, ang dami nilang conception, ang dami nilang sense gratification and exposure to this Mayavad and impersonalistic philosophy. So this time, it should be impregnated nga daw sa kanila, yung seed of bhakti or yung exposure na yon. So much so, it will be a big chance for them to not waste this life. para mas maging Krishna conscious or just finish this business in this material world. And yeah, Pariksit Maharaj is a perfect example kasi he never stopped looking. Never stopped looking for Krishna. Nabutan niya actually si Krishna eh. When he was a child, nabutan pa niya. Bata pa siya doon sa kingdom. Pero he searched and searched and searched. Never stopped. Even yung last moment na nung life niya. Sec, um, Text number 31. As the moon in its waxing fortnight developed day after day, so the royal prince, Pariksit, very soon developed luxuriantly under the care and full facilities of his guardian grandfathers. So yes, hindi lahat have the opportunity to be guided ng parents. Sometimes parent lang. Sometimes may grandfathers. Like si Pariksit Maharaj, wala siyang dad. Pero tumayo yung mga na fathers niya, yung mga grandfathers niya, which is hindi biro, the Pandavas. The Pandavas yung mga naging grandparents niya. So may mga ganung mga factor. It doesn't stop there. We could not, ayun nga, sabi ni Radhat Prabhu, play the role of a victim palagi. Eh, ganito ako kasi wala akong parent. Ganito ako lumaki. Ganito ako pinalaki. May expiration actually yun eh. Yung mga suffering natin from our childhood, sa yung mga trauma or mga past natin, may expiration yun. Diba? Pag nag-decide ka na natapos ka na doon sa stage na yun, sa mga na-experience mo, sa mga bad things, it will expire. Diba? Ang daming opportunity that will be given to us. Diba? There will be, ayun yung story nga ng isang dear devotees natin. His father passed away. Si Krishna sobrang sweet. Diba? Ginawa siyang servant ni Guru Maharaj. My spiritual father na very close. Diba? Just for like weeks or months, diba? So, ganon. Ang dami si Krishna, ang daming arrangement na pwede niya ibigay sa atin. You just have to see. Open our eyes, diba? And appreciate, be grateful sa mga nasa paligid natin. And yeah, diba? True friends, andyan yung mga devotees, father, mother, like us, brahmacharis. We will live in the temple, but the Matajis, the Prabhus, diba? Or yung mga kuya dito sa temple, you'll have a lot, actually. Then from that experience and care and love the mga devotees, you could give it away as well. So same, kay Pariksit Maharaj, he grew up na ganito with the guardian na nasa paligid niya. Text number 32, just at this time, King Yudhishthir was considering performing a horse sacrifice to get freed from sins incurred from fighting with kingsmen. But he became anxious to get some wealth, for there were no surplus funds outside of fines and tax collectors. Tuloy natin. Text number 33. Understanding the hearty wishes of the king, his brothers, as advised by the infallible Lord Krishna, collected sufficient riches from the north, left by King Maruta. So after ng war, ubos ang tax, ubos ang funds nila. Ang dami na ginamit doon. Of course, yung mga manpower nila, ubos din yung mga kings and all. Pero to start yung emperorship ni Yudhishthira Maharaj, he wanted to have a horse sacrifice para magkaroon ng auspiciousness. Only thing is, ganito ka complicated yung mga sacrifices natin. You have to have yung mga finest things of all in that sacrifice kasi it's offering as an offering to Lord Vishnu and the other demigods. Pero wala nga silang funds and as advice, sabi ni Krishna and yung mga advisors nila, actually, Pariksit Maharaj, you are the emperor. And yung mga gumagawa ng mga sacrifices na to, yung mga ginagamit ng mga panapernalias, mostly mga golds yun, if not all. Hindi naman nila inuulit yun eh. They will store it somewhere else. And there was a story also by here described sa north, si King Maruta. And because of his pious activities, ang daming sufficient and napakadaming gold. Mountain of gold nga daw. And in the Mahabharata, it was described, yung mga gold na dinidiscard ng mga fire sacrifices, sobrang dami din daw talaga nun. Mountain of gold. And automatically, since siya yung emperor, siya may-ari nun. You just have to gather them. then you can have funds for sacrifices. So, grabe yung binibigay ni Mother Bumi ng Earth because of these pious kings like King Maruta and King Yudhisthira. Yung mga activities nila, sobrang um, magarbo and sobrang pleasing. Sir Prabhupada mentioned in the last paragraph of the text number 33 na these sacrifices is very much advised nung Satya, Treta, Dwapara Yuga. Dwapara is they to worship, Satya is sacrifices, and yung Satya Yuga is meditation. This kind of self-realization process is advised in the previous yuga. Actually, halos impossible mo siya ma-perfect ngayon. Sabi ni Prabhupada, the best and still only kind of sacrifice recommended in this Kali Yuga is the Sankirtan Yagna, which is the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna. Magagaling talaga itong mga kasama kong to. Malupit ang mga pinapakawalan nila. Dahil dyan, yun nga eh. Kasi gusto ko lang anuhin ulit yung kay Maharaj Pariksit na yung sa examiner. Yun, yung sabi daw kasi ang meaning nung, isang root word ng Pariksit is prakesh, something ganyan, or Parikshit. Yan, Pariksheta. Examiner. Kasi una nga nakita niya na si Krishna. Nakita niya si Krishna tapos biglang nawala. So ngayon, nahanap niya yun. So nung lumabas siya, lahat ini-scan niya yung mga tao. Na-compare niya, ito ba yun si Krishna? Okay, hindi. So ito ba yun? So napakanta siya. Wala kang katulad. Wala nang hihigit pa sa'yo. Ayun. Hinahambing niya kasi, hindi ka may hahambing kahit kanino pa. Dahil kasi, very attractive si Krishna eh, di ba? All attractive one nga eh. So, ayun. Walang hambing, walang comparison. But anyway, nasa na ba tayo? 34. By those riches, the king could procure the ingredients for 3 horse sacrifices. Thus the king Yudhisthira, who was very fearful after the battle of Kurukshetra, please Lord Hari, the personality of God. Ito nga yung sinasabi ni Radhacharan Prabhu na yung riches na yon, okay, after the war, merong fear si Maharaj Yudhisthira na ano to? Dahil ang daming namatay dun sa war na yon, parang to the reason na para iupo lang siya as emperor or as a king. And then so ganun siya na kahit hindi naman niya talaga parang hindi naman talaga siya yung may kasalanan nun. Kiniklaim niya na yung account na yon nakasalanan niya, and then kailangan niya pa rin ng mag-perform ng sacrifice. So yung sacrifices na yon is hindi biro. And then yung situation pa is kakatapos lang ng war, saan kukuha ng wealth. Ito ang matindi. Kaya nga sinabi, by those riches the king could procure the ingredients for the 3 horse sacrifices. Yun nga, kaya nabanggit si King Muruta kasi magaling na king din siya before, and even parang matagal na king before nag-reign siya, mas matagal na eh, pero maraming naiwan yun na dahil sa sobrang galing ng pag-manage niya and all, and very prosperous. Maraming meron nagbigay sa kanya ng mountain of gold. Ganyan. Pero ang malupit doon, kahit inabutan na ni Maharaj Pariksit, inabutan na ni Maharaj Yudhisthira, and then even Maharaj Pariksit, yung wealth na yun o yung mountain of gold na yun is unclaimed. Ito malupit, unclaimed. And then, bakit unclaimed? Kasi sobrang satisfied ng mga citizen noon na hindi kailangan mag-hoard ng mga wealth ng ganyan. May kita nyo nga dati yung mga ninuno natin. Dati daw yung after nung war, kung anong makita mong lupa, hanggang matanaw mo, lagyan mo ng bakod, sa'yo na yan. So, kaya yung mga iba magagaling, di ba? Matatalino. Ginawa nila yon. Work lang yon at konting puhunan. Babakuran nila, kanila na yon. So, kaya ngayon may mga mayayaman. But anyway, so, eto, yung mga sobrang prosperous ng mga tao noon, hindi nila inaano yun. Hindi nila kiniklaim. And then, sabi nga is, di ba may binanggit na yung wealth ng others is you see it like a garbage na hindi sa'yo yun. Pag hindi sa'yo, wag mong pakialaman, parang ganyan. And then, ayun, so sobrang, yung time na yun is sobrang, sila, wealthy nga, tapos hindi nga, sabi ni Radhacharan Prabhu, hindi inuulit. Kung makikita natin ngayon, even yung plastic. Diba pag yung thinking nila noon, yung ginamit na yung gold, ilalagay na somewhere or sa dustbin and all. Actually, sinabi ni Prabhupada dito sa dustbin eh. Tatapon na. Tapos sabi niyan ganon, hindi, ang i-compare natin ngayon, yung mga yung mga plastic bottles, mga iba, hindi lang basta ni-recycle, kundi inuulit yung container na yon. Parang sa kanila, it's a crime. Bakit inulit mo yan? Meron pa tayong Hindi naman sila nagsasayang, pero ganun talaga katindi yung wealth noon. And then, isa pang makukuha nating character dito, yung lesson dito. Sabi dito ni Prabhupada sa purport sa text 34, sa parang second paragraph. One should take lesson from the acts of Maharaj Yudhisthira. He was afraid of sin committed on the battlefield, and therefore he wanted to satisfy the supreme authority. This indicates that unintentional sins are also committed in our daily occupational discharge of duties. And to counteract even such unintentional crimes, one must perform sacrifice as they are recommended in the revealed scriptures. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that one must perform sacrifices recommended in the scriptures in order to get rid of commitments of all authorized work or even unintentional crimes which we are up to commit. By doing so, one shall be freed from all kinds of sins. Ang gusto kong yung ibig sabihin nito, ganun daw yung mga ng pure devotees. Like, ganun yung character o yung qualities ng mga pure devotees. Kung nagkamali man ng konti or what, or feeling uncomfortable, they will do such thing na para makorek yun. And gusto nila agad na. Ayun yung sinabi ni Risa Mataji. Ganda nung despite of atrocities of the society in the world, the devotee turns to Krishna and he will be victorious. Kumbaga, ang point doon is laging kinukuha yung favor ni Krishna eh. Makikita mo, bakit ko sinabi yung comment doon sa chat. Kasi si Arjuna and si Duryodhan, kahit na kahit nung time na yon na pupunta sila kay Krishna and then natutulog si Krishna and then to make the long story short, mag-uunahan sila kung kanino pupunta si Krishna or kung yung army niya. Yung army niya is hindi biro. Yung army ni Krishna sobrang madami and then magagaling yung mga yon. So parang inisip ni Doridan, pag pinili niya yon is wala na, panalo na. Ang daming army. 1,000 millions. Pero ang pinili ni Arjuna is si Krishna. Sabi nga, victorious. So, hindi alam ni Arjuna hindi alam ni Doridan na sobrang mas makapangyarihan si Krishna, magiging victorious. Yung mga army niya, one click lang yun, wipe out yun eh. Kayang i-wipe out ni Krishna yun eh, kasi mga army lang yun. Pero si Krishna mismo, kaya laging nagtuturn yung devotees kay Krishna. Kasi siya nga yung siya yung our dear beloved Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, wala yung mga wealth actually. May binanggit nga si Jim Carrey. Sabi niya, dapat daw dapat daw pagbigyan daw ni God na gawin na rich and famous yung mga tao para malaman nila na hindi yun yung sagot sa kasiyahan. So, yun. Pero ito, ginagamit lahat kay Krishna yung wealth. Yun yung main point doon. And then, kagabi ko pa iniisip, kasi sabi dito, ano yun? 34, then 35. Lord Krishna, 35. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, being invited to the sacrifice by Maharaj Yudhisthira, saw it that they were performed by qualified twice-born Brahmanas. That after that, for the pleasure of the relatives, the Lord remained in few months. And then, ano na natin sa 36. Oh, Saunaka, thereafter the Lord having bade farewell to King Yudhisthira, Draupadi, and other relatives, started for the city of Dwarka, accompanied by Arjuna and other members of the Yadu dynasty. Nagtataka ako, ba't bumalik na naman? Nakaalis na nga, napunta nga sa Dwarka eh. Tapos dito, binalik na naman. Kasi, ngayon ko lang na-realize, kaninang umaga, na bakit parang nagbumalik yung story. Kasi, makikita natin, si Maharaj Pariksit, pinakita na nga lahat ng ng mga yung auspicious sign niya na ito magiging emperor, and then after that war, si Yudhisthira Maharaj pa rin ang parang nag-facilitate nung sacrifice also para din sa kanya, yung pag-take birth niya and all. And then nag-sacrifice din si Maharaj Yudhisthira dun sa sarili niyang parang purification and all. And then dahil nga napaka-importanteng personality si Maharaj Pariksit, nag-ano pa actually, yun nga, pinacilitate pa rin ni Krishna, hindi siya agad umalis actually. Hindi siya agad umalis, and then ganun nga ka-importante kasi yung klase ng yung sacrifice na yon is kailangan nga perfect with all the ingredients and all the brahmanas. Sinabi nga dito yung about sa twice-born brahmanas na pinaunlakan pa rin ni Krishna na okay, hindi mo na ako alis kasi pinakausapan siya ni si Yudhisthira Maharaj na i-supervise. So sobrang napaka-importante talaga ni Yudhisthira Maharaj and then Maharaj Pariksit na talagang nagbigay pa ng time si Krishna, although ganun na naglalament yung mga people in Dwarka. So in this way is makikita mo talaga is yung binibigyan ni Krishna ng importansya yung mga pure devotees niya. And yung dun sa ginawa ni Maharaj Pariksit also may connection ay ni Yudhishthir Maharaj na gusto niya is i-claim na yung gusto niya makuha niya na yung karma or I mean yung may konti lang magawa, gusto niya malinis na agad. Ganon din yung ginawa ni Maharaj Pariksit actually. Na kaya naman daw niyang i-counteract yung curse. Pero ang tanong, bakit siya na-curse? O baka ano to ni Krishna or ito yung karma ko and all. So, what to do? Ano na lang gagawin ko? Ika-curse back ko ba o hindi or what? So, ang ginawa niya, yun. Inano niya yung Srimad Bhagavatam. Nag-inquire siya. Ano yung dapat gawin ng dying men? Hindi na kailangan i-counter yung curse. Kung ito na yung nangyari, then anong gagawin natin? In a positive way. So, ginawa na lang niyang strength na para malaman kung ano yung dapat na consciousness ng dying man. Within 7 days, tinanong niya kay Sutta Goswami kung ano yung dapat gawin. Kaya na-recite tong Bhagavatam. And then ngayon, nabe-benefit tayo kung ano yung mga dapat nating gawin. So, actually, ito yung preparation for our final exam. Ayan. Actually, gusto ko ring merong kung kilala nyo nga si Pankajangri Prabhu who recently just passed away a few days ago. Gusto kong yung glories niya na there are times na actually parang na-issue siya sa sa Mayapur na merong kasi open lang dun yung room nila eh. So parang may parang pupuntang Mataji na nagbibigay ng mga kung ano. Tapos madalas lang napapapunta ron, parang gano'n. So okay naman, wala namang anything. Pero kumbaga na as a brahmachari na sila na check siya. So ang rectification, so parang in-examine naman wala, okay. Walang ganung katinding issue pero para ipakita sa mga citizen na hindi kumbaga kailangan i-rectify yon. Nung one time na nasa nagle-lecture siya. Actually hindi niya natuloy yung lecture niya, napayak siya and then umalis muna siya. Ang point niya doon is gusto niya kasi kumbaga may mga ilang days na usap-usapan yun. Kahit wala namang anything na foul, parang ganyan, is gusto niya i-claim o gusto niya makuha yung punishment or rectification niya. Agad-agad. Ganun daw yung pure devotee na gusto ngayon na ilinisin within this lifetime or within that time. So actually, kung makikita nyo sa ibang picture, ang rectification niya is 2 years na mag-wear ng white. So yun, ginawa niya after 2 years and then balik na ulit sa orange. So ganun lang kasimple na hindi na yung nagre-retaliate. Kumbaga, okay, tatanggapin anong dapat gawin. Andito na tayo, anong dapat gawin and then move forward. Ganun lang kasimple. So in that way, yes, simple living, high thinking lang na always for the pleasure of Krishna. Yun yung point doon. Na ma-please si Krishna. Okay, I think that's it for today.
Tapos na yung 36, no? Nabasa mo yung 36.
Yes, nabasa na yung 36.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, my dear Prabhus. Napakaganda. And yeah, tuloy-tuloy ang ating Srimad Bhagavatam. Napakaganda na ito. Kita tayo sa ano tawag dyan? Mag-unpack ng bagong libro. Yes. So this is the second one. We'll go sa ating third book. If you don't have this, diba? It's,
Naka-plastic.
naka-plastic pa yan. Pinastic niya yung sa kanya.
Galing.
Sa akin, nandun eh. Nandun. So, tomorrow, we'll start again sa ating continuation. Chapter 13. And thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Birth of Emperor Pariksit. Garantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Yan.
jai.
May
Para,
backstory lang to, ba't ba to naka-plastic eh? Kasi
sige,
yung
go,
dumating sa
go.
akin to set na to,
Mm.
niregalo sa akin ng aking dear Tatay Tatayan, Jugala Kishore Prabhu from the UK. Nasa fourth canto na ako nun eh. Kaya yung mga first canto, second canto, third canto, lahat naka-plastic pa. Kaya yun, binuksan ko na lang nun, fourth canto. Yan, so. Ngayon, ina-unpack ko uli siya. Mag-unpack uli tayo.
Yes, mayroong mga ano, no, unboxing and unpacking. And ako favorite ko pag nakikita ko yung mga devotees bubuksan yung mga libro nila. No? Pero mas favorite ko pag nakita kong binabasa sa inaaral. Thank you very much, my dear ones. For those who are in the fourth batch, kita-kita tayo ng 9 to 10. And maraming salamat for those who are watching dun sa ating Facebook Live. So, tuloy-tuloy natin to. And be Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Haribol. Bye-bye.